Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
All-American Eatery out on Highway 87, the Toka Highway, and about 85th Street. If you're coming from Lubbock, go out to 98, swing underneath, and it'll be down there on your right. Easy to get to, and great food. You'll love the fact that you're there. And Gary, give me those times that they're open in Wolfforth now. They've reopened out in Wolfforth. It's on Tuesday through...
I have no earthly idea.
You had it last week.
I had it last week. What is on a piece of paper? Oh. That piece of paper is no longer in my possession.
Oh, it's not. They took it away
but
from
they
you.
are open, and you need to take care of them out there because they've got great food and daily specials. And one of them's meatloaf, and we don't ever go. I think meatloaf's like Wednesday, and we don't go out on Wednesday. But catfish on Friday. So anyway, daily specials out there. One of the specials is steak night.
Yeah.
And
catfish night.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's great.
It is really
Abel's
great.
doing a great job with All-American Eatery. All righty. And they're open in Wolfforth. We just don't know what days. I think it's Tuesday through Saturday, but I could be wrong. I'm just remembering what you said last week.
That sounds right.
And I don't know the times.
What's the finger up for?
That's the time? Who do we have?
We have Sean.
Already? Did I say?
Oh, wow. He must have got an earlier tea
Sean,
time.
what are you doing? I thought we were doing 10:20. Did I write down 9:20?
No, we were doing 10:20.
I know it's
10:20 Eastern time.
Don't I have 10:20 down?
I was in my backyard in my hot tub.
Well, can you do it now, Sean, or you want us to call you back?
No, absolutely. I can do it right now.
I saw Brennan in there talking on the phone. I wonder who he's talking to. Because you were and Brennan messed up. Is what happened, but that's okay. We don't. If you can do it, hey buddy, it sounds like you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. You know what? I'm loving life right now. So I'm just it's Saturday and it's all good.
Are you golfing today?
I'm not golfing today. I was supposed to, but we couldn't get a good game going. So. I've been playing quite a bit, so I kind of need a couple days off. My mom's actually moving here from Atlanta.
Oh wow,
that's great! Are you excited?
I am excited. I haven't been around my mom much since I was about 13 years old. You know, I've been on the road, and she's always kind of been in different places. So we're both excited. And
tell me your mom's name again.
Brenda.
Brenda.
Yeah, I worked with Brenda at Merrill Lynch, and Brenda's a sharp lady.
And you've got an aunt or something here that is seems like another family member.
Sheila.
Sheila. Yes.
Yeah. Sheila. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, I grew up across the alley from your dad and your aunt and your grandparents, and then worked with your mom. So we're almost kinfolk.
There you go.
And don't be telling many people.
Yeah, so most of the families is here now, which is nice.
How long have you been back in town?
2 Thanksgivings ago. So almost a year and a half or a little bit more. So it's been nice.
Yeah, it's good to be home, isn't it? You were born here, but you left and went to Arizona and then to Florida, right?
Yeah, I went to Arizona and then Florida. I went to the Ledbetter Academy down in Florida, and was never really a Florida fan. I mean, I know there's good parts of it, but I always kind of wanted to move back to Lubbock. I got married at a young age, got separated back in 2022. And then ended up getting divorced and moved from Philadelphia to back to Scottsdale, and met the girl I'm with now, and she liked me enough to move back to Lubbock with me. So
that's good. Does she like Lubbock?
She does. She's
Good.
from Lodi, California, so she said it kind of reminds her of Lodi. So I guess Lodi is pretty flat and farming community. So but she likes it here. People are, she's always saying that people are great here, and she's a pretty good golfer.
I spent some time in Lodi. It's near Stockton.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
I've done time in Lodi.
What about? Now I think I met her, Sean, at the. I ran into you at the course one day, and she was. Yeah. I hate to say this, but she was actually carrying Sean's bag.
Hey, I remember that day because I'm over on a green, and I see down this fairway, I see this guy, and he's walking like he knows what he's doing, and he's got his I'm assuming wife or girlfriend carrying his bag. I said I've not seen that guy swing the club, but I guarantee you he's good. And I'll be darned you were.
She carries for me every now and then, and
it's not all the time.
Not all the time, but you know what? She's the one person that I can kind of rely on to take a look at my swing, and it's like it feels a little bit off. I can't.
Isn't that really, something? Well, I met her. She seemed great.
Yeah.
Well, she's a good golfer too.
Awesome. Yeah, she's great. She's great. She shot. Yesterday we played. She shot one over with a triple and a double. So
at Lubbock.
In Lubbock, yeah.
At Lubbock Country Club.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Well, that's embarrassing for me.
I've got the triple and the double down, but
that's our favorite. Well, I was telling go ahead.
I got to make sure I don't give her too many shots. She's always like, you don't give me enough shots. I'm like, well, that's for a reason. I don't want to get beat. So I never hear the end of it.
Okay, you talk about don't want to get beat. You play out there with the locals at Lubbock Country Club. Mm-hmm. How often do you get beat?
I get beat. I give them shots, but I get beat a fair share. I mean, no one's really beating me on their own ball, but
so zero would be the answer.
If they're close to doing that, I might break their kneecap with my 7-iron. But yeah, I like playing. I got my group at Lubbock Country Club. We play pretty much, 3-4 times a week. I mean, if I'm home, and we got our game. I give certain guys a certain amount of shots, and we go out and have a good time. And it's pretty competitive. I mean, it's these guys they don't like to lose. So
and they're all good.
Yeah,
they're guys we would enjoy playing with because we like them, but they wouldn't enjoy playing with us because we're not any good.
Because we can't find our ball.
Yeah. They're hustlers though. I got to be careful because they're a lot better negotiators than I am. But,
I think he's talking about Chad.
Anyways, we have a good time.
You talking about Chad?
Yeah, Chad Williams and we get some other guys.
Lee Lewis play with you? Does Lee Lewis play?
Lee Lewis plays with us. Mike Edwards.
Yeah.
Mark Gilmore. So we got a good crew that we kind of play with, and we have we got a whole bunch of stuff going. We do individual stuff. We do 2 guys versus me. Sometimes we do 3 guys versus me. That's when I really get beat pretty good.
3 guys.
Yeah. So we have fun.
All right. This is the truth. We could play a 5-some with our group.
Yeah.
We could have 4 against you, and you wouldn't have to worry about losing.
Yeah, it'd be over. It'd be over early.
Unless you let us play a scramble.
We might not win then.
All right. That's all right.
I saw him on number 9 one day. He's back at the tips, the black tees way back there. He hits it past the big tree on the right.
Yeah.
Hits it past the big tree from the tips.
Yeah. It's a different game.
It really is.
That's what I'm swinging at it. Well, it's not always the case, but I tell you, it's kind of interesting because I haven't really played Lubbock Country Club since I was gone for so long, and now that I'm back home, I've joined there and playing a lot, and it's just like I forgot how tight of a golf course that place is.
Yeah.
9's got to be one of the tightest holes that you can find, really. I mean you can't really miss it right. You're either in tree trouble or in the water, and you miss it left, you're in the trees, and I mean it's a fun track to play. I mean, it's not the most challenging as far as distance or anything like that, but I mean, it's definitely is good for me, as far as challenging me off the tee to be straight. And
all right. So. Speaking of that, Oakmont. Have you ever played Oakmont?
I have. I played the 07 U.S. Open.
Okay.
What did you shoot?
I played decent the first day. I think I shot one over. Maybe I can't remember exactly what I shot, but I was inside the cut line, and then I shot 80 the second day, and missed the cut by a mile. So, I played that golf course a couple of times away from competitive play, just with some members.
Yeah.
And that's the only course that I know of that actually slows down their greens for a tournament. So the greens that those guys are playing, the greens that they're playing right now are slower than what the members play.
Oh my gosh!
So just think about that for a second.
Listen to this, Sean. This is from Mike Wan. I don't know if you know him. He's the USGA chief. He said that there have been 1,385 players have played a major championship at Oakmont, and 27 of them finished their 4 days under par. 27 pro golfers out of 1,385.
I believe it. I mean, honestly, from the moment you tee up to the time you're done with your round, I mean, every single shot is a challenge. And when I played with the member there, I looked at him and I just said, I don't know why you're a member at this place. I mean, it's beautiful, but you must hate yourself.
Yeah.
Because playing this golf course is like torture.
Well, yeah, for Gary and I, we'd be out there 6-7 hours.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it's really hard to explain it. I know when people go to Augusta, they always like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how undulating it was.
Yeah.
Because you just don't see that on TV, and watching the U.S. Open, people don't realize how thick that rough is. People don't see how deep some of those bunkers are. People don't see how challenging some of those putts are on the greens. I mean, it's really hard to get a feel for it when you're watching it on TV. But when you're in person, it's just like, I mean, you're talking about the best players in the world, and they're scratching their head on how do you hit this shot?
Yeah.
And we see, I mean, we pretty much see it, every week where we, can figure out some kind of way to play a golf course. But these guys this week, I mean, they're just scratching their heads.
Just survival.
Yeah, just trying to get through.
It really is. It's survival of the fittest. And you better have a really, really good short game and good feel on the greens, because that's the only way you're going to score out there. Because, I mean, if you're in that rough, I think, you've seen it over the last couple of days. It's just, it doesn't matter how strong you are. You can't advance it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a challenge.
I think mentally, you need to be mentally strong too, to where you just move on to the next shot and not get all upset that you took that double bogey, because there's going to be some.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, when some of these guys are playing at such a high level, they're already the best players in the world, but they're also at their peak. And they're coming in the tournament expecting to win, and then all of a sudden they might not hit a great shot. And the thing is like, those fairways, they're pretty sloped. They've got a lot of angle to them. So, they're already a tight fairway and it's firm and fast. And if you're hitting the center of that fairway, you're missing the fairway. So you could hit a great shot down the middle of the fairway and be in that thick rough. I know that happened to me quite a bit in 07, and it's frustrating. I mean, it really tests your patience. And if you're not mentally expecting that, when I was playing at a high level, I used to work a lot with Bob Rotella, and he would always try and get me to kind of almost think about what can go right and what can go wrong, and be ready for every situation mentally, and that golf course, if you're not mentally in the right place, it's going to be a short week for you.
I'm looking here, Sean, at your career. You turned professional in 1999, and you've had 9 professional wins, 4 on the PGA Tour and 5 others. Your highest ranking was number 12 in 2009.
Wow.
And you were the Rookie of the Year in 2005. And the Masters, you tied for 10th. The PGA Championship, 12th, tied for 12th. And U.S. Open, tied for 12th. And the Open Championship is you tied for 7th. And that was 2010. Was that tell everybody what you're doing now. Are you going to play more in these big tournaments, or what you're planning?
So I got hurt in 2019. My oblique tore off, and so I had to get it surgically repaired, and I was out for almost 2 years with COVID and all that stuff happening kind of at the same time. And so it's kind of been a challenge for me to get my status back. When I came back, I only had a limited amount of events to play to earn my card back, and I just haven't been able to do that. And so I've been trying to play still. This year is the least amount that I've played on the PGA Tour, really, period. And just the tour's making some changes. I mean, they're cutting jobs next year, and it's harder and harder to get in events. And so I've been playing off past champion status, which 3 years ago you could probably get in about 20 events with that status, and this year I've gotten in 1. So it's been difficult, just from that standpoint. I've been doing a little bit of teaching. I've been doing some teaching over at Lubbock Country Club. But still want to play. I've got actually some mini tour stuff coming up. I'm thinking about playing
Sean,
the Texas State Open.
Let me ask you something. Can you stay over through this break? We have a hard break, so we've got to take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd love to talk to you some more if you can.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be back after this break. You're on Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby.
Sports Talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby, and we have Coach Wes Kittley on the phone with us from Eugene, Oregon. Coach, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Hey, good morning, guys. You're welcome. It's early here, but it isn't that bad.
Well, my main concern was the pollen. That's really what I wanted to know about.
Well, we got ahead of that, and you need to take this down. If you'll take a teaspoon of honey days before you come to all the pollen, you won't have any issues.
Well, is that 1 teaspoon total, or is that a teaspoon a day? Is it a teaspoon every hour?
I took a teaspoon a day. I've been taking 1 a day. I haven't had anything, and
that's
I always
great.
do when I come here. So it's somehow that's the magic of how those bees and that pollen and all that stuff with that honey, it counteracts it.
That's great news, Coach.
Yeah. Did it rain on you?
No, but it sprinkled. It sprinkled, but we never saw sun yesterday. It was a dreary day, but and it was cold. It was 58 to 60 degrees, but today's going to be 73 and the sun's shining, so it's going to be a little better day for the women.
So this will finish it up today. The men are through.
Yes,
the men are through in Arkansas. I mean, A&M and USC tied for the championship.
They did.
Are you good friends with those? I know you're good friends with A&M coach. What's his name, Henry or something?
Yeah, Pat Henry.
Henry.
I get along with USC. USC had really, really the best team on paper, but those things happen, and they won the indoor championship, and then of course they tied. You don't see ties very often.
No,
that's hard to do.
It has happened. Yeah.
And then Arkansas was just 1 point back.
Yeah, it all came down to the 4x4 mile relay, and USC ran terrible. They had a 7-point lead going into it, but they got 8th. And,
wow!
It really hurt them.
Oh,
wow! Is 8th last?
Dramatic.
Yeah, 8th is last, isn't it?
Yeah, 8th is the last point. Yes, correct.
Oh, wow!
Now they run 9, so they do run.
Oh, okay. There was somebody.
So somebody doesn't get a point.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct.
Well, do they get to be All-Americans?
That they do not. No.
That would really suck to finish.
Yeah, you got
ninth.
to score. You got to score.
Wow. Okay.
Well, Coach, I'm looking here. We finished 16th with 16 points, tied with North Carolina. Is that correct?
We did, with 8 sophomores and 5 juniors and 1 senior. We're just a little bit young. We won the national championship last year with our 3 big guns.
Oh yeah,
seniors, and we're reloading, and I'm not disappointed. We got 4th in the quarter hurdles with our 1 senior, Oscar Edlin, and then we got 4th with the 400 with our junior, Deshaun Boyce.
Yeah.
And we didn't score in the discus, but it was they set the NCAA record, the greatest discus throwing competition ever in the history. So I wasn't. Of course, I'm never happy when we finished out of the top 10. But I knew coming in we had lost a couple of kids at the Big 12. We kind of paid a price by winning 4 Big 12 championships and really working our kids really hard through Big 12, and then we got a couple of them with slight hamstring strains, and then they didn't get out of regional.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're the best in the country. My hurdler, Malachi Snow, he had the fastest time, but he didn't. He fell down at A&M for the regional. So we were a little bit, shy on the men. We knew that coming in, but we were just going to try to get a bunch of All-Americans. And
what about Ernest Chariot?
Well, Ernest got 3rd, on the 10K, but then to try to run the 10K and the 5K with a 1-day rest here.
That's pretty tough.
Tough. And he was running really good. He got a big old knot in his calf, about 4 laps to go, which is not uncommon because he had to run the 10K, unreal fast, within 40 hours earlier.
Yeah.
And so we were just hoping. We qualified him in both, and we knew the 10K was going to be his bread and butter, and he did. He got 3rd, and then he's a sophomore. We're just really young.
That's
with
encouraging.
This team. And so I'm not disappointed. We just got to get. We're going to grow these guys up. They got some experience, and we've got a really good recruiting class coming in, and hopefully we'll have a really good team next year.
He got 3rd by 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, I watched that race.
Yeah,
it
was good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk.
Be perfect here.
Well, real quickly,
you blink.
Men and women, have they always alternated, or do they used to run them together?
No, in the old day they didn't. And I'm one of the old school guys. I like them on the same day.
Yeah.
They want to give the women their own day, and they want to give the men their own day. But it's mostly about the women getting their own day. And it makes it really hard on coaches because we've got the men on one day, then the women on the next day, then the men on the next day, and the women on the next day.
Yeah.
It's just a constant you're down here for a week, and it's a long week.
The main thing is, Coach, we've been watching it on ESPN, and the main thing is it's important that SEC gets a lot of recognition. That's what Gary and I like, is for SEC to get a lot of recognition.
Yeah, I bet y'all do. Well, that's
it's
just
sickening.
Typical. We all live with that all the time.
I know
it. It's just the way it is, but. I'm excited for today. Our women, Shelby won 2nd in the hammer on the first day, and then we've got really good Timmy Tope in the high jump today, who's national champion indoors. We've got Zoe and Shelby in the discus today, and then we've got Tamia and Victoria in the triple jump, and we're really good in those events.
So what are you thinking?
I think we can score 30 to 35 points today, or 25 today with our 8 we already have.
Yeah.
So
that's top 5, isn't it?
It could be top 5. Yes, it could. It's not going to win, but it's going to be up there. So
okay, great.
It'd be really big for our women.
Were you surprised that 41 won the men's?
Well, everybody's so good, but I was telling we won it with 60, and then we won it with 50.5 indoors. So everybody's beating each other up more.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to get those points. People don't realize. I mean, we were 16th in the country, and if we'd had Malachi just finish the hurdles like he's ranked, well, then we're 6th in the country. I mean, one little deal is just. And if you notice, 16.5 was above us, and then 17, and then 18. It's just minuscule.
Yeah.
One little thing go wrong, and you drop from top 10 to top 15. It's just like that.
Coach, we've been talking about NIL and all that stuff today, and you're talking about everybody's beating everybody and all that. And I think some of this is supposed to, have some parity. How do you see the NIL and all the, the budgetary things? I'm assuming our budget's going to be similar to everybody else's budget. Do you see it making it even more even playing field, or do you see us having an advantage or disadvantage?
I think, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying stuff, but
good.
I think for football, football's got $16 million, and most everyone's got $16 million.
Yeah.
And basketball's going to get $4 million, and everyone's going to have $4 million. Now, the outside NIL stuff and all that, I can't argue. Where it becomes really uneven is for me and track and baseball and those sports, because a lot of people are going double and triple our scholarships.
Okay.
And we're not. And so, I don't want to be negative. I'm just saying that's my worry as a track coach, and I would think Tadlock has the same feelings, but I don't want to speak for him. But, the judge ruled and the NCAA ruled that you can have endless scholarships up to 35 for women in my sport, and 45 for women and 35 for men. And a lot of the power schools are doing that, but Texas Tech.
Well, how are they doing that? Are they doing that with outside money, or do they just have the $20.5 million?
They are very cocky, I guess I could say. If you'll read Georgia, they're taking $13.5 million for football instead of 16. It comes out of the football and basketball, but they're helping all their sports to do it by taking just $2.5 million from the other sports.
That sounds like something that would certainly help our track and field and our baseball and.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we got to win in football, and I don't disagree with that. And that's where we're putting the money right now. And hopefully in the future, things can get better. But we have 12 scholarships in the men and 18 in the women, and now people are going to go to 35 and 45.
Wow.
And baseball is similar.
That's tough.
So, yeah, it's like it became the most uneven for my sport and baseball probably in the history of the sport. And that's what's sad about it is the haves are going to have it and the have-nots are not.
Well, and the SEC is the haves when it comes to baseball, because they really emphasize baseball over there, and I'm assuming that their budgets are going to be maybe double ours?
I don't think the budget's a big deal. I think the scholarships are. The scholarships are incredible. When you can get 3 to 1, when someone's got double your scholarships and can load up on pitchers or load up on, anything, then it hurts you, I think. But we're going to see. We're going to fight it. I know Tadlock will, and I know I sure will. We got to stay with it and do the best we can.
Do the scholarships not come out of the budget?
They do. They come out of the football money. If you give scholarship, the first $2.5 million of that settlement of the 20.5, if you raise scholarships, it comes out of that, the first 2.5 million of it. And what Texas and A&M and all the SEC chose to do, because they feel like they can win with 13.5 million in football, they don't need 16. It's their cockiness of.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
We're going to help all the other sports and be the best and get the maximum in all our sports instead of just football, because the people want to come here anyway. So that's not going to matter. $2.5 million over 105 football players is not going to matter.
I see. Yeah.
So they just feel like, hey, those kids will walk on. They don't, whether they get a scholarship or not, because we're so good.
Yeah.
And then next year, remember, that goes up 4%. So then they get some of that back. And then the next year it goes up 4% again. So it's like 22 million, then 24 million, and then it just keeps rising. Well, I think our concern is, of course, that's a lot of money we're having to raise every year.
Yeah, it is a concern.
So, and and we want to win in football and basketball now. It's great.
I want to win at everything,
Coach.
Coach.
It's hurting some sports, and it's going to not.
I want to win at everything. And, like softball did this year. Can you believe these kids were getting in softball through the draft portal? It's like Christmas.
Yeah, it's a whole different world. Yes, it is when you can go and get them.
It's unbelievable.
But that's this year, this next couple of months.
Yeah,
it's
a this month thing, isn't it? After this month, it's go back to the old.
Well, it had to be done by the day the judge signed. So all the contracts were in house before she signed off. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that July 1st numbers, that's out the window?
July 1st is when you have to have it paid by then.
Okay.
It's got to be all paid by July 1, but the contracts had to be done.
Well, if they'll take a check, we're
You had to know you were getting them before the day the judge signed, and I can't remember the day that was, but it's last week.
Coach,
Okay.
did you ever dream in a million years that these are the kind of things you'd be dealing with?
No.
It's crazy.
I've never seen anything like it. Since in my 41 years of coaching, it's a rodeo out there now, and then it's really changing. This is going to be unbelievable interesting in the next couple of years to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
Coach, I think you would sort of agree with me on this, that I'm for players getting compensation, enough similar to a regular student that's working, because I consider they're working.
Yes.
But I mean, we're going to have a basketball player with $4 million? I mean, come on now.
I think what all of us, just look at it, it's paying it up front. That's the part that none of us got wherever we are. We never got it up front. I had to prove to be a winning coach before I got more salary, and that's the thing that's very different about this.
Yeah.
Is, I hear the deal on Saban that, he made $10 million and he can leave anytime he wants. Why don't they pay the athletes? That is true, but Saban moved like 16, 17 times starting as a GA.
Yeah.
So he developed that. He didn't get all that money day one. And me, and y'all believe this, I was head coach at Abilene Christian for $10,000 was my first job.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do believe it.
So 41 years later, I make more than that now.
Yeah.
But, they didn't pay me big until I won some national championships. I never got paid big at Abilene.
Well, and
you had to earn it is my point. And I think that's the biggest problem that you worry about with the young people is I'm for them getting stuff, but, to give it all up front and hopefully they can manage it well.
Well, I'm more of a $25,000 to each athlete that we have, and then when they want to be pro, quit college and go be pro.
Yeah.
If you want to get your education, you go to college, and we're going to give you $25,000 or whatever the number is, so that it's not a burden upon you and your family. We'll give you your education, $25,000, and then the moment you want to be a pro, you sign and you quit college and go be a pro.
Yep, that plane has flown.
Now that ain't gonna happen, is it, Coach?
No, it really hasn't. Now, in my sport and things like that, it's not rampant, but it's there. It's definitely there. Oregon has really big NIL, but we'll see how that changes. Where you can't just hand it out like everyone's been doing. You've got to go through the clearinghouse now and of course the outside, like Matador Club goes away as we know it, but it'll be joined with the Red Raider Club. But it's still going to be different. You can't just go pay kids what you want to pay them. You got to get permission, and it's got to be going rates.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to the women today, Coach. Because what time do y'all start? When's your first
1 minute?
Which is here 12:30. We start off early. Zoe is in the first fly of the discus, and then Shelby's in the second, and then we go straight to the high jump with Timmy Cope, and then the third. Then right behind that, we go to the triple jump with Victoria and Tamia. So
easy day. Coach, let's
bang.
Get them going. Let's get them in that top 5.
Yeah, we're going to try. I'm excited. I think the girls are ready to do well.
Well, we believe in you, and we believe in our track and field program. I can tell you that. Y'all are a proven commodity. We're proud of you.
And we appreciate you.
Guys.
Hey, tell Amy Heard that you're looking forward to listening to her next week on the show.
Okay, yeah, she's here eating breakfast.
Yeah. Go over and tell her you're looking forward to it.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Wes Kittley, everybody.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Head track and field coach, Texas Tech, and national champions.
And Lady Raiders today.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Connecticut of West Texas. I'm serious. Give them a call and get her done. And I'm fixing to give you the phone number. It's 806-368-4736. Over 40 years, Keith Peel and the bunch. Connecticut's been in West Texas. And I know you've been thinking about doing it. Terry and I thought about it forever. And we finally did it. And we wonder, why on earth didn't we do this 40 years ago?
No more hard water.
No more hard water.
All righty. Lubbock. Well, okay, hang on. Let me tell you about Lubbock Truck Sales because these guys support. This is the Kinsey family, Cody Kinsey, and they support Texas Tech football. That's what they do because they get those big old trucks and haul the equipment all over everywhere. And we appreciate them and all their great support of Texas Tech and our show. And if you're a trucker or you need new stuff or service, they've got a 26-bay service department, first-class operation at Lubbock Truck Sales just outside the Loop on the Slayton Highway. All right, Antonio Huffman is on the phone with us. Antonio, thanks for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
And listen, Gary and I were talking because I told Gary you were going to be on, and I said, he was chief of staff, and I thought, well, that sounds more important to me than associate athletic director. Chief of staff, that sounds important.
I would go with whichever one pays more.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what he did, I bet. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
These are exciting times at Texas Tech, aren't they?
Yes, sir, it is. It is. Very exciting time for Texas Tech. Athletics, as you know, and then also football. But, we're looking forward to this season.
And you were, of course, a great player at Tech. Did you know that?
I guess I was all right.
Former defensive back for the Red Raiders. And now, how many years is this now? Is this 6, 7 years on the staff?
I came back in 2019 after I did 7 years at Washington State. I'm going on my 7th season since I've been back since 2019.
Man, we're glad you're back. I hear so many great things about you and what you're doing. And did you ever dream you'd see what's going on through the draft portal and what Texas Tech has done? And you're out there. You get to see them. When you go out to practice, you go, oh, my gosh, who are these guys?
Yes, sir. Our recruiting staff and our scouting department, they've done a heck of a job, as you guys know, in the transfer portal. But I can tell you we do look a lot different. And so we've brought in 16 transfers, and we're fired up by every single one of them. And along with that was 20 high school kids. So we're going to look a lot different, come this season.
So 36 players that weren't here last year are here, new people. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And a good-looking bunch, good-looking lot.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm so impressed. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now, your job, it says here that you've expanded your administrative duties to now you're in charge legislation pertaining to name, image, and likeness, as well as facility improvements. Now, we've been talking about that a bunch today.
We're trying to figure it out.
NIL, we don't get it. But here's the good part about Antonio, Gary, is that he used to be in charge of compliance. Didn't you, Coach? Didn't you used to be in charge of compliance?
Yes, sir. I was a liaison with our program in compliance. So still somewhat doing that as well.
But it's so changed. We used to couldn't do anything, Antonio. You remember that, don't you? Couldn't talk to them.
It's got to be a lot easier now.
You just have to do whatever you want to do.
Yes. A lot has changed since then, and a lot of keep changing. In the world of compliance and college athletics, every year is something's always changing. So we have a heck of a compliance department led by Jennifer Bashir, Justin Opperman. I mean, they keep us up to date and on all the new changes and new rules. So,
are things changing for the better, Antonio?
I believe so. I really do. From when I played, back in the early 2000s to now, I think the student athletes definitely have, I guess, more control for what they want to do. And they have more flexibility, obviously, where they can transfer anytime they want. And so, we didn't have that back then. And so, I think it is changed for the better. So, like I said before, it's always changing. So next year maybe look a little different, but we'll keep moving forward as it does as well.
Hey, tell everybody about this Huff's Huggables.
Huff's Huggables?
Huff's Huggables.
Yeah, Huff's Huggables. Yeah. So that came about. I believe maybe my junior year here at Tech. I had my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, she had a bunch of stuffed animals, and I was thinking like, I'll give them to, maybe Goodwill or something like that. And I was like, I got an idea. Let's probably, we can do something with that. So I called local police department and talked to the police chief at the time and asked them, did they ever have any, like stuffed animals that was in squad cars? So when police officers get, domestic calls or anything like that, where there's maybe a child in the home, but parents are not getting along, you take that huggable, that stuffed animal to kind of just, calm the child down and let them know that everything's going to be okay.
That's
and so that's kind of how the idea brought up. And so we will bring stuffed animals to the police department. They'll put a bunch of fuzzy animals in the back of the squad car. So if they ever had a call like that, they'll be ready to go.
Now, did you think of that?
I did.
Wow. That tells me something about you.
It does.
Yeah, I've been
something really, really good is what it is.
Oh, I thought it was you. He's been in trouble with the law.
Yeah, that he's been in the back of a lot of police cars, and he wished he'd had a huggable.
What Gary said, it tells us a lot about you.
It really does.
Great. That's tremendous. You came up with that.
Well, and then followed through on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know who else he went and coached with at East Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Ruffin.
Yeah, Ruffin McNeil.
One of our favorites.
That was fun, I bet.
Oh, it was. Ruffin, you guys know when Ruffin was here at Texas Tech, I believe maybe 6 or 7 of us went there to East Carolina with him. And, man, what a great coach to work for, a better human being, players coach type coach. And, we had some good years there at East Carolina under Ruffin McNeil.
He's completely out of coaching, isn't he?
Yeah. Isn't he?
I believe he's NC State.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of consultant to the head coach. So he's
that's
doing that.
A good deal.
Yeah. He's there in North Carolina, so he's close to home.
All right, just so everybody knows, we're talking to Antonio Huffman, who's now the Associate Athletic Director in charge of football, or I don't know what all. They gave all this long. He used to be.
Hey, what exactly is on your card? When you hand somebody your card, what does it say on it?
It says Associate Athletic Director, Football Administration.
Okay.
All right.
So, I just put it like this. People are like, well, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
I'll just put it in Coach McGuire's terms. My main job is Coach McGuire's the head coach on the field. I'm the head coach off the field. So kind of oversee everything
that's big.
That's off the field. So,
Chief of Staff. I like Chief of Staff.
There you go.
That's good. All right, now Antonio was a 3-year starter at defensive back for Texas Tech and ended in 2006 with 189 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 25 pass breakups. He was named the defensive MVP in his final game as a Red Raider after picking off a crucial interception in Tech's 44-41 come-from-behind victory over Minnesota. That was absolutely one of the most unbelievable comebacks in the history of Tech.
That cost a coach his job, too.
It did.
It did. Yeah, I tell you, that game was always be a fun memory. A good, talking piece at the table with some of my old teammates. Obviously defensively we didn't start that game as well. And, I remember going into halftime and, Coach Leach just basically said, hey, look, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to have to keep playing. Like, we got to wait till, we keep playing till the clock says 0-0-0, but we're going to take it one play at a time. Defensively, I know we just started blitzing. We haven't blitzed nobody all year. And so
desperate act.
We started blitzing and getting the ball back to the offense as soon as possible, and we had to come back.
You caught them off guard, didn't you? Hey, I think they're blitzing.
Yeah, we definitely caught them off guard because they didn't have anything on tape to prepare for. So.
Well, and let me ask you this question, Antonio, because y'all, every time we try to get a Tech football coach on, and Matt Dowdy is absolutely great at helping us. I mean, he's the best. But y'all always got recruits in town. I've never seen anything like it. Every time it's that we're recruiting or we got recruits or you got recruits in town now, don't you?
We sure do. We got 8 guys in right now. We got official visits during the week. We got them on the weekend. We got camps on the weekend, basically Sunday. So every Sunday in June, pretty much the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, we got camps. It's June. I call it the June Gauntlet. We got a lot going on, a lot of good things going on with the team as well.
Yeah.
Where we're doing, football school Monday, Wednesdays, and we're doing team runs on Fridays. And then, what we call our Coach Wednesdays, we're doing that on Wednesday afternoon, meeting with our guys and just, doing some leadership development type stuff. But, June is fun. It's a lot going on, but it's a great time to develop our team as far as trying to find new talent and then develop our current players as well.
All right, you talk about camps on the weekend. Is this primarily high school kids that are sort of like trying out, or it's not like little elementary school kids, is it?
No, so we do a high school camp. So those guys that are in high school, 9th through 12th grade, and then JUCO age as well, can also attend these camps that we have on Sunday. We do have a youth camp on June 18th. And 19th, so Wednesday and Thursday of this month, and so those grades are the more elementary school kids and middle school.
Okay, all right.
But that Red Raider brand, and I know you know it about as well as anybody, is strong all across this country. When you show up now, you can show up in Pennsylvania. It's recruiting a linebacker, and he would know Texas Tech, wouldn't he?
He would. It's crazy you said Pennsylvania, because I was in Pennsylvania about a couple of years ago and had my Red Raider stuff on as I usually do, and just walk around and all you hear is guns up, wreck them. And
Is that right?
It was like 4 or 5 people, on 2 different days. So it was awesome. Red Raiders are everywhere.
They are. They are. When we used to travel around a little bit and go to different countries, and I had my Tech. I always wore my Tech stuff everywhere I go. Had a Tech cap on. I can't remember where we were, in Italy or somewhere, and at the airport. And this guy that couldn't even speak English, he saw my Tech cap. He goes, Bobby Knight. It's just all part of the brand.
Yep, that's it.
And Patrick Mahomes. You talk to Patrick much?
I don't personally talk to him much, but I get to see him when he comes in town, obviously, and coordinate with his team, on special events and things like that.
Yeah. How about Coach Blanchard? Is he doing okay?
He's doing awesome. He's he got his all white on right now because we got a big recruiting weekend.
Yeah.
So he's hard on the phone and hard in meetings right now.
Guy that turns down Notre Dame, who came with big money, didn't he? Said, I'm staying at Texas Tech. That's kind of that tells you a lot right there, Coach.
Tells you a lot, what we have going on here with Texas Tech athletics and Texas Tech football, and just the type of staff we have. Coach McGuire has done an elite job in bringing in great people. We have a great culture. Everybody, we're a big, huge family. Everybody loves being around each other. Our coaching staff and our support staff, women and men. Coach has just done a heck of a job. As far as finding individuals that want to put the players first. That's a big thing for him, and making the players the best version of themselves. That's big for him, but the ultimate deal is they fit in our culture and our family. And so I think that was a big, huge part of why Blanchard, wanted to stay and continue building a legacy here.
I agree with you. We'll get y'all in here one of these days. If you're not, of course, you have to bring recruits with you because they're always attached to you.
That's right.
I wanted to ask you one other thing, Antonio, and that is Joey McGuire, and he gets this a bunch. Is he that way all the time, like he is, so fired up and excited and so much energy?
He is. And that's no lie. He is. He always bringing energy and the juice. As a staff, we have to match that energy,
Yeah.
And it's hard to match sometimes because he's just always on the top of the tee with it. But that's what we love about him. I think that's what our players love about him. They know when they walk through the doors, this is going to be the best part of their day is walking through those doors and being developed and making themselves the best version they can here in these facilities. And so, Coach being here in the building, it's his sanctuary. He makes it a part where he's always wanting to go down to the lift groups and greet the guys and see the guys, no matter what's going on, outside of the walls of these facilities, good or bad. But the sanctuary is here in the facility, and And then we want our players to feel that. And so I think that's why he's always bringing that energy, and our staff does as well.
Hey, Antonio, we've only got a minute left, but I saw a video I saw on Facebook last night that the Tech football players are calling another football player and saying, "Hey, man, where are you? I just called to tell you I want you to have a good day today, and I love you." Do you know about that?
Isn't that awesome? I
It
love
really
that.
is
I
awesome.
really love that. That is, but that just tells you what type of family we have.
I'm
we
telling
have a
you.
big, huge family, and it's authentic, it's real.
That's
great. And for those that's seeing it, I mean, our recruits, they feel it too. And the biggest part about Lubbock is getting those recruits here. Lubbock and our family, our city, the fans. It sells itself. We just got to get them here to Lubbock. And
Antonio, thank you, buddy. You got it. You were great. Thank you for being on today.
Get after that recruiting.
We'll see you, buddy.
We will.
All right.
Antonio Huffman.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.